Needs monsters. A giant spaceship landed in front of the United Nations building, and Ishad, the first ambassador to Earth from Mars, stepped out, and as a gift from his people to ours, he gave us these monster traps. They were these red cubes that looked like a little Rubik's Cube, but weren't. And when a monster passed by it, a blue light would shoot out of the red cube and capture the monster inside of the cube, which then turns green, so you know that there's a monster inside of it. Wow, this was so great, we all thought, because now we had some way of fighting back against our monsters. The entire world saw how they were capturing the monsters, and we celebrated them. Then once the box turns green, the Martians would collect the cubes with the monsters inside and replace the monster trap with new ones and take the old ones away. Some children on Earth missed the monsters. Can you believe that? So they snuck onto the Martian spaceship and saw that the Martians were holding all of the Earth monsters behind this force field, and that they looked so sad and lonely, with no children to scare. The children felt a little sad too. They kind of missed the monsters. And still hiding, they heard the Martians talking about how Mars needs monsters. Our children are upset that we got rid of all of our monsters and we have to replace them with these monsters from Earth. And so the children helped all of the Earth monsters to escape by accidentally, as they were climbing down the shelf from their hiding place. The shelf tipped over because of all their extra weight and came crashing into the Martian force field, so that all of our monsters were able to escape. And the Martians caught the children, but the monsters all escaped. And the Martians didn't know what to do, so they turned the children back over to the Earth authorities to be dealt with. Then the Martians wanted the Earth children punished, but instead, after the Earth authorities heard what the children told them, they instead arrested the ambassador from Mars and the Martians and interrogated them. SHEA said, Well, they asked him, Ishad, why are you stealing our monsters? Because we made a big mistake when we invented the monster traps to capture the monsters on Mars. When we got rid of all of our monsters, Ishad said solemnly, the children grew sad because they missed their monsters. So we wanted the monsters back. We wanted to release them, but we'd already placed them into a rocket ship and sent them blasting off deep into space, filled with all of our monsters, never to return. We had already declared Mars a monster-free zone, and there was nothing at this point we could do. We didn't know how to undo our mistake. And it was only then that we discovered that without monsters or things that go bump in the night, that our children missed the monsters and wanted them back. We didn't want to get rid of our monsters. We only did it because we wanted to make our children happy. But now that the monsters were gone, our children were the opposite of happy. Well, I guess without monsters to guard against, that there was nothing to keep them alert to danger, on their toes at all times and always at the ready to defend against an attack from a monster lurking under the bed or in the closet. So they became lackadaisical and stopped playing. We don't really know why, but it was as if our children missed their monsters and wanted them back. So we knew we couldn't get their monsters back, but there was a group of monsters right next door on Earth, and that is why we decided to give them your monsters instead. But now we see that your children want their monsters just as much as our children want our monsters. So now we don't know what we'll do. So then one of the children got an idea and said, I know, we can share our monsters with the children on Mars. Really? Said the ambassador, you'd do that? Yes, said one of the children. We'd be happy to share our monsters with the children on Mars. So it was decided. Now Earth monsters were able to vacation on Mars, and everybody was happy. And they really liked it because they felt appreciated and wanted. And a joint Earth-Mars rocket ship was built and sent off into deep space in search of the rocket ship that the Martians had sent filled with their monsters, in hopes of finding it someday and inviting Mars monsters to return back home to Mars where they were missed. The end.